Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Tuesday, the 30th of July, 2024. And in today's Millwall news, we have news from Sky Sports about fixtures being moved. So obviously with the new TV deal, I've mentioned this in previous videos, because they're putting so many TV selections onto their Sky Sports Plus system. There's going to be so many extra games on Sky. The agreement the league reached was that you would give everyone a lot more notice, and they have. It was announced that before the start of the season, before the first game of the season, they would announce all of the games move from the beginning of the season until January the 3rd, I think it was, and they've published it today. So early, they've gone, or maybe a week early or 2 weeks early. And we have a number of Millwall fixtures moved. So take a look and see if this affects you. Yeah, a lot of people are not happy with this, but we see how it goes. Second phase of Millwall fixtures rescheduled. This is from millwallfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Millwall will feature a further 3 times on Sky Sports in November as part of the latest confirmed TV selections. The Lions' home game against Burnley, as well as trips to Stoke City and Oxford United, have all been selected for live coverage. As a result of the rearranged date for the Burnley fixture, Leeds United will now visit the Den a day later than originally scheduled. More on that later. Similarly, Sheffield United's trip to the Den midweek in December has also been rescheduled to the next day, following their TV selection the previous weekend. So what's happened there? We'll find out in a minute. But the Burnley fixture is still a 3 p.m. kickoff, but it's on Sunday. So what that meant is we will be playing Sunday and Tuesday. So they've decided to get the Leeds United game moved to the Wednesday. A lot of people were confused with this. They were upset that the Leeds game had been moved to the midweek. No, it was always midweek. For some reason, maybe they're trying it midweek to see if they can get. Maybe there's going to be less fans travelling to try and make sure there's less trouble. I don't know. A lot of weird fixtures this season in terms of games that you wouldn't think would be on at a certain day or in midweek have been in midweek. So yeah, that's the reason why that's been moved. And then so we've got 2 games that were on a Tuesday, both at the Den, have been moved to Wednesdays. Let's carry on reading this. The Millwall's New Year's Day fixture against Oxford United in SE16 will now kick off 2 hours early at 1 p.m. That's no surprise. Obviously, over the last few years, Millwall, when our festive games on Boxing Day and New Year's Day have been at home, have been at the Den, they always tend to move them to earlier kickoffs. I think maybe the players and the staff, they prefer that. So interestingly though, the Boxing Day game hasn't been moved yet. So a full list confirming the new kickoff times and dates can be found below. So this is what we've got so far. Millwall versus Burnley is on Sky Sports Football. That's been moved to Sunday the 3rd of November, 3 p.m. kickoff still. Because of that, as you can see, Wednesday the 6th of November, Millwall versus Leeds has been moved to 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Now that is on Sky Sports Plus. We know that because every single midweek game is on Sky Sports Plus, because they're out. That's outside the blackout time of Saturday 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So if it's in the midweek, they're going to show all of those midweek games on Sky Sports Plus. It doesn't need to be shown now. But then this game afterwards, the Stoke City versus Millwall game, is on Sky Sports Plus. That's been moved. It's a Saturday game that's been moved to an earlier kickoff, so it can be shown on Sky Sports Plus, and that is on Saturday the 9th of November. So the whole of November seems to be screwed. I don't know why they're putting us on in November. I don't know what that's about. But again, so we were told at the start of the season, I've done this in a previous video, that it would be Friday nights, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Saturday 5, and then Sunday 12, Sunday 3, and Sunday 5 or Sunday 8 p.m. and the Monday night as well. And all we're seeing is Saturday 12 o'clock kickoff, Saturday 12:30 kickoff, Saturday 12:30 kickoffs. That's all we're seeing when our games get moved to Sky Sports Plus, and this is throughout the Championship as well. All of the Championship games, when they get moved, most of them are being moved to Saturday mornings, Saturday afternoons, and that's how it goes. And similarly, here we go. A few weeks later, Oxford United versus Millwall has been moved Saturday 30th of November, 12:30 p.m. kickoff for Sky Sports Plus, so it can be shown on Sky Sports Plus. And then we have obviously now this game here, Millwall versus Sheffield United, has been moved to the Wednesday from the Tuesday because of Sheffield United being moved to the Sunday, I believe, the few days earlier. And then we have again the Millwall versus Oxford United, Wednesday the 1st of January 2025, New Year's Day. It's been brought forward. As I've said, Millwall do that for their festive fixtures all the time. That should not be a surprise to you. But there you go. Obviously, that will be a bank holiday. So there you go. So that's the Millwall changes. And if we look at them in context now, and we go through the games as they are, these are the fixtures as they are now. So what have we got? Obviously, the first game at the Den, that the Southampton games are friendly. The first game at the Den, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. That Bristol City's away. Hull City, 12:30 on a Saturday, as mentioned. So this is actually a Saturday at 3 p.m. Sheffield Wednesday at the end of August. Luton at the Den, 12:30 on a Saturday. So if you can't make 12:30 on Saturday, maybe you got to take your kid to football or something. Like, you're screwed. You're screwed. Your season ticket is probably now worthless. Maybe you can try and find someone who can make use of it at that time. But yeah, this is unfortunate for you. And again, Saturday, 21st of September, 12:30 a.m. 12:30 p.m. Queen's Park Rangers away. The end is the 28th of September. That's still 3 p.m. on a Saturday. So what the fixtures are set from up to the first week in January. That's fixed. So if you're coming in from abroad, all these games are set now, pending weather events and stuff like that. But they should be set. So we got Saturday 3 o'clock there. We got Saturday 3 o'clock there. Saturday 3 o'clock there, and then November. So October's pretty much settled for us. But then, like normal, we got a normal October. Then here we go with November. So here we go. Sunday, 3 o'clock. Wednesday, 12:30 Saturday. 3 o'clock Sunderland game. So that November looks pretty tough, no? That's a pretty tough. Obviously, there's a international break in the middle there. That probably helps out a bit if we are under cosh. So here we go. We're going through these now. Interesting, like I said, the Carrow Road game that hasn't been moved. Now, I wonder if Millwall asked for it to be moved, and Norwich said, "Yeah, no, we would rather it kick off at 3." I wonder if there's any recourse for that for Millwall, if they can complain to the league, or they're just gonna take it and turn up at 3 o'clock. But there you go. So there you go. And these, so up to that Sheffield Wednesday game, these are all set. If you want to plan the trip, these are all set. After this, the whole game and onwards, they could still be moved. So that's how it is now. These are the fixtures, and they're pretty much set. Now, this is what the EFL put out about the situation today. Sky Bet EFL TV for selections confirmed up to early January. The EFL and Sky Sports have confirmed all broadcast selected Sky Bet EFL matches for the period up to the FA Cup third round, the weekend of the 11th and the 12th of January 2025. As per our previous commitment, these selections have been published before the start of the EFL season. Insurance companies are now in a position to advise supporters of the changes to be made well in advance of the fixtures taking place. Selections have been made by Sky after liaising with the respective clubs, relevant authorities and the league. This new notice period is a significant improvement on the previous position, which saw 5 weeks notice given across the majority of the season. By selecting TV picks early and giving much more notice, fans will be able to plan with more certainty when making travel and hotel arrangements. While some fixtures have been moved in order to be broadcast during a regular weekend, 26 of the 36 matches across the 3 divisions have not been moved from the Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff slot. The league is also committed to greater parity in the number of times that clubs are selected for TV coverage across all competitions, with clubs set to feature more than 20 times per season on Sky Sports. Broadcast selections are subject to change due to fixture rearrangements in relation to international call-ups and cup ties. Obviously, we are on an international break. That only applies to League 1 and League 2 teams because those clubs can still have their games called off because of that. And you can see the full list of TV selections below. So these are the ones that they've just published today, and you can see the other games that they moved around. Again, the midweek ones. Every midweek game will be on Sky Sports Plus, but there's going to be some. Sky Sports Plus is a streaming platform. You need Wi-Fi to get it. Obviously, they still have the dishes, and they still have channels that are broadcast on the dishes like a proper old school television channel, and that's what they've selected 2 games every midweek to do that, and you can see the ones there on the 1st and 2nd of October. And I wonder how many times we're going to see Leeds selected. So here's the games here. Obviously, like Friday night game, 2 Saturday 12:30 games at the same time. Well, 3 actually, because one's in League 1, and then Sunday 3 o'clock game. So the thing that they told us at the start of the season, that we would be seeing Saturday 5 o'clock kickoffs, that we would be seeing Sunday 12 o'clock kickoffs, Sunday 5 o'clock kickoffs. That's not happening. All they're doing is selecting multiple games at the same time, 12:30 on a Saturday afternoon. So there you go. That's what they got. And the odd game on a Monday night, but that's more. I think that's mostly Leagues 1 and Leagues 2. So yeah, these are the games that they've selected. There's a hell of a lot of games, so we're just going to scroll through them and pause if you want to. If you want to see this, is at EFL.com on the news page. You can check it out for yourself. But yeah. So here we go into November, and you're going to see Millwall featuring heavily. Yeah, there we are again. Stoke City Millwall. But again, 3 games at the same time. Saturday 12:30 kickoff. When they told us there would be, they said even there might be the odd Thursday game. They're just like, that's not what's happening. They're picking all of the games at Saturday for 12:30, and they're picking multiple games to kick off at the same time. Again, and one of the selling points that they got, well, you can watch all this football. How can I watch all this football if all the games are kicking off at the same fucking time? You know what I mean? Like you physically can't do that. You have a selection. You can choose which games, and you can flick between them. But you can't watch all of the games. So it's about having the content. It's about having all these various feeds on the stream that you can flick through, like a YouTube videos, or with all these choices that you can make. So yeah. So these are the Boxing Day games. Derby versus West Brom, Stoke versus Leeds. Of course, it's Leeds. 8 p.m. on a Boxing Day. Those poor people that have to work at the stadium. 8 p.m. No 12:30 kickoff on Boxing Day, but an 8 p.m. What a shitty thing to do, man. What a shitty thing to do. So the 29th, obviously the games are on Sunday the 29th. Now they've got the games kicking off at 12:30, and then a Sunday night game, Sunday the 29th, 8 p.m. kickoff, Middlesbrough versus Burnley. What's that about? But then all the other games are at 12:30, except for the Monday 8 p.m. kickoff, Wimbledon versus Gillingham. New Year's Day, again, New Year's Day, the day that everyone's lagged and it's generally a day off. No, 8 p.m. kickoff on New Year's Day. What the hell are they doing? And then we're getting on to the last selections there, yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's what it is. They're paying the money for it. It's more money, apparently, for more games. Will that affect the overall in terms of fans that can't go to the games now? So they sell less tickets. Don't know. Don't know. We'll wait and see. Maybe look, if this helps Millwall in terms of having all these games moved around. If that helps us, then we'll all be favouring it. If it doesn't, then we will absolutely despise it. So there you go. Now, there was supposed to be a game today, and it was. We lost, and as you can see, the game was held at the Den, because Colchester was saying it was at the Den. It wasn't at the training ground. So I think maybe Neil Harris or the Millwall management team were trying to get a bit of match practice at the Den. Obviously, without the crowd, it's not the same. But obviously, we generally only have one home friendly every season. It's the last. We always have the last game the week before the season starts. That's always the home friendly for us. That's just the one. It's been that way for many years. But I think they're trying to maybe get another one in. They got this one in, Colchester game, but it was behind closed doors. It's various websites, live score sites were saying it was kicking off at 11 or 12 or 1. This was published at about 6 p.m. So God knows when the game was played. Maybe it kicked off at 3 o'clock. Maybe they're trying to simulate a proper game. But yeah, we lost to Colchester. We lost 1-0. Obviously wasn't there, so I don't know how we played. But that's maybe a little bit worrying. So obviously maybe it must be worrying because Millwall haven't published anything about it. We haven't heard a damn thing. Not even from the South London Press or the Southern News. I don't know if you'd think maybe they would invite them in to have to watch the game, because apparently someone was there from Colchester's press team and put out a match report. So that's where this match report comes from. This match report comes from cu-fc.com, which is Colchester United's official club website. So the U's win 1-0 at Millwall. Colchester United beaten Millwall 1-0 in a behind closed doors friendly at the Den. On a blistering hot day in the capital, an early Lyle Taylor goal was enough to beat Neil Harris's championship side. Although playing against a side 2 divisions higher, the U's looked the more dangerous but couldn't add to that strike. It came after just 5 minutes and was instigated by some good defensive work by Arthur Red on the edge of the U's box. The ball was fed out to how are we going there? Let's have a look. Ian Veen. The ball was fed out to Ian Veen, whose strong run down the left ended with his shot hitting the post. Taylor was on hand to volley home first time to give the U's the lead. So Geezer run down the left wing, whipped in a shot, he hit the post and came out to Lyle Taylor, and he scored. 10 minutes later, young Ian Veen was again a thorn in the Millwall defensive side as he drove forward and into the box. When he was challenged, the referee pointed to the spot and responsibilities again went to Taylor, who scored from the spot on Saturday at Peterborough. With the same considered run-up, he hit his effort low to the keeper's right again, but saw it rebound off the post before being cleared for a corner. So far, so not so good. We're 1-0 down and we've given away a penalty which wasn't saved. I probably would have felt better if it was saved, but it hit the post and went out. Or it was kicked out. Neither keeper was tested for the remainder of the first half, which was stopped on 25 minutes for a water break as the temperature topped 30 degrees. After the break, which saw Fiacre Kellner replace Tom Flanagan, Millwall started the second period on the front foot, and Ben Goodliffe had to be sharp to block a shot on 50 minutes. So I hope that wasn't our first shot of the game. But obviously this is a Colchester United report. They're not concerned about Millwall. They're talking about Colchester. The next few substitutions came on 65 minutes when Macy, Taylor, Goodliffe, Yandolo, Hunt and Reed were replaced by Terry, Fawn, Egbo, Woodyard, Edwards and a trialist. Woodyard was straight into the action and was unlucky to his effort fly just over the bar after a youth free kick was deflected to him 20 yards out. Payne, Gordon, Heinveen and Hopper then made way for Greenidge, Honey, Tovid and Jay for the final 15 minutes. The last chance of the game fell to Fawn, who was denied by a great block after superb work from Edwards and Greenwich. The final whistle went with the score remaining at 1-0 to the U's, with Danny Cowley loudly applauding his side for the work in difficult conditions. Obviously, not much written about Millwall there. Not much that we know that we did make a save. We had a shot on 50 minutes. So, yeah, what can you say? Obviously, this is written from the point of Colchester United. Maybe that's inaccurate. We don't know. We'll wait to see if there is any kind of match report for Millwall, maybe a team or not. It's kind of weird though. We've had such openness in the pre-season so far. They're telling us about the behind closed doors games that they put on a tour to Spain, which they let fans go to, and then they put up this. They put the game up at the Den, and obviously maybe they don't want fans knowing about it, so they don't turn up and try to go to the footpath behind and block it, or to South Bermondsey Station and stand at the end of it. But kind of bizarre that we're not even getting any mention in it. They didn't even mention it on social media. The first instance that we're knowing the game actually did take place and what happened was this. That was published at 6 p.m. So yeah, it's kind of weird how it's turned now. And I don't know, is this worrying? Now it's pre-season. But yes, that's not good. I think the same old problems are going on. So obviously we know that Colchester went 1-0 up. So did they sit back? Did we try and break? Did we have to break them down? And were we unable to do that? Which is a thing that is constantly a repeating pattern, because most of our forwards are kind of mediocre in certain aspects. There is not one out and out complete standard bearer forward. They each have their abilities and concerns, and yes, it's not really working, is it? You saw in the other day, if you've seen the highlights or the full match that's been published on YouTube of the Real Murcia game, both goals came from corners. 2 corners, 2 goals. Is that how it's going to be? Do we need to win from set pieces? It's worrying, isn't it? Especially the target man is Jake Keeper. We don't even have a forward who is bigger than 6 foot. That's a worrying concern. With 2 weeks left, 2 weeks before the season starts. So there you go. That happened today. Now moving on to this, it's a story published today by the southernnews.co.uk. Really important for us, Neil Harris, on why Millwall's continental break was a crucial part of the pre-season. The Lions played 2 games while out in Spain. Neil Harris believes Millwall's training camp in Spain has left them well prepared to attack the final 2 weeks of pre-season. The beginning of the Championship campaign is approaching at pace, with the Lions having now entered the final leg of their preparations. Having returned from Spain on Saturday, the Lions face Colchester United behind closed doors today before hosting Southampton at the Den in their final friendly on Saturday. Millwall boss Harris believes the lessons learned in Murcia and the unity among the group holds his side in good stead. He told the news at Den. It was a brilliant week, a really strong week for us. 2 really good games against perfect opponents. Forest were excellent against us. I really enjoyed the game, and then Murcia caught us all by surprise with the physicality of it, and the facility was outstanding, and the togetherness in the group was very clear to see for the staff and players. And we've got a lot of contact time with the players, which is important for us. It was a break from here, which is key, and pre-season is only a 7-week period, but it's very intense and aggressive and hot at times. So just to have that facility break was really important for us. Millwall have yet to be particularly impressive in terms of performances, but Harris insists that the priority is still largely about the fitness of the players. Asked for the aims of the final week of friendly matches, he said, it's still pre-season. It's still about the players being fit, which is the main thing. Ultimately, this week is about continuing the extension of minutes. We saw in Spain that some players played 90 minutes, and the majority of senior players played 70 minutes. So that's a continuing thing this week, with senior players playing extended minutes and get somewhere between 75 and 95 minutes between the 2 games. And players that have had injuries get longer minutes, and certainly someone like Sean Hutchinson comes into that thinking. In regards to tactics, we want an element of step up in that. I've seen clear development, improvement in players as we go through, not just the games, but the training as well, and tactical understanding of what's required in growing all the time. So there you go. It worked so well that we ended up losing to Colchester. Oh dear. I hope they got really fit from that game. But the problems up front still persist. We don't have much quality up front. We've got Amak who's quick. Watmore can run with the ball. SA has got vision. He can do tricks and hold on to the ball, but he gets fouled and loses it easily. Fleming is a very good player, but he's slow. He can't play on the left. He has to play in a certain position. He's like Goldilocks. And Nisbet has a really good way of putting the ball into the net, but he needs to be in the box to do that, not running around outside of it. And Bradshaw can only run around, and that's all he does. And he's not even doing that well anymore because he's 32 years old. And Tom Leahy, I would say, just throw him in. He can certainly, I would imagine he'd do better running around than Tom Bradshaw. He's probably quicker than him at the moment and got the ability to do that high press stuff. And he's probably a much better target man as well. The only thing is his ability to he's shooting. But we'll see. We don't know. But there you go. Now, before we finish, I wanted to say this, a bit of housekeeping in terms of the Millwall family. Achtung Millwall, you probably know that. It's a podcast. It's available on all the podcast streaming places. It's also on YouTube. As you can see, this is on YouTube. This is not video. You can listen on YouTube, which doesn't bother me. But he's moved podcast hosting platforms, and for some reason it hasn't continued on from where it left off. It started a new podcast under the same name. So he's been posting a few videos recently. If you haven't got them, videos, you've been posting a few podcasts. If you haven't got them, you're subscribed to the old one. He has been making new stuff. So just check if you are subscribed. If you were subscribed, you might have to just search for the name and find a new one. And if that's there and you haven't subscribed to it, then subscribe to it, and you'll start getting the new ones now. So just letting everyone know about that, because the money raised from the adverts from this podcast goes to charity, and that's a very noble cause. So there you go. And if you haven't listened to this, I recommend that you do. It's a very good listen at times. And if you go, obviously that's on Apple Podcast. I think the issue is on Apple Podcasts and maybe Spotify as well. And when you go to Spotify to look for Achtung Millwall, you can look for the Daily Millwall, and you can subscribe to the podcast, this day channel, the Daily Millwall, on Spotify. It's on there as a video, and there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.